So this is just a quick little video on control and how we only have so much of it. So, story, I'm just coming home I pulled over, I'm not driving, from the barn where Miss Horse is at, which we have two working names for her right now, Raja and Amira, and I still don't know which one it is yet, but she had her teeth done this morning, and for anybody who doesn't know about horses, they have to get what's called their teeth floated, which is essentially filed down because they can grow into points because they're not in their natural habitat for what they would normally do, and so they can grow these points. The vet said her teeth were so bad, worse than teeth that she's seen where horses hadn't had them done in 3 years or more. She had points in the back of her mouth that were so sharp and so big that it was cutting the top of her mouth. So she has these cuts and sores in the back of her mouth, and then also along the side of her mouth from other teeth that were jagged and hadn't been taken care of. And I spent a good amount of money, although I feel like it's the same as like an animal, like a dog dental for her teeth. And I could easily be so bitter, especially because I'm a projector, and have so much resentment for the people who had her before me, because they never had a vet out to look at her, they didn't have her teeth done, they didn't have her feet done, for the people who had her before that, and the people who had her before that, for not taking care of her in the way that she deserves. But I can't control that. I can't control them. I can't control their actions and the way that they do it. And so normally, or not even normally, but previously, this would have sent me into a spiral. And I would be so upset and so bitter with these people for not taking care of her in the way that I feel like any animal should, in an ethical way. But who is that helping? Nobody. It's not helping anybody. And so instead, I'm just grateful that I have her, that I get to take care of her now, that she'll never have her teeth as bad as they were today ever again in her life, and that I have the means to be able to take care of her. Because as my mentor Amber says, the resources come with your dream. So if your dream is the horse, the resources for the horse come with the horse. And it's not just like all one pretty package that comes together. You also have to be open to receive, which this is something I've been working on, to receive where those resources come from. You can't pick and choose how they come to you. They come to you in the way that they're meant to. And so yesterday, I had somebody that has horses at the barn gift me a heavy-duty horse blanket and liner from a really nice brand, which would normally cost, I think, like $300 new. And normally I would have like totally resisted that and felt really like guilt and shame for like accepting such a high ticket gift. And instead I was able to like celebrate with her, because not only was I celebrating the receive, she was celebrating the give, because she's like, I need this out. I'm decluttering. I don't need this anymore. So I'm so grateful that it gets to go to a good home. So we get really weird about, I feel like, receiving, and I know I have, and I'm working on that. But it's realizing that the resources come when your dream comes. So anybody who's potentially having some weirdness around control, you can only control you. You can't control anybody else. And I've been tested on this like 3 times already this week about other people that in the past would have like set me off. But now I'm like, well, I can control me, and I can control my actions, and I can control, where my horse is or where my dog's, and like what kind of care I don't have dogs yet, but like what the quality of care they get, the quality of food they get, all of that I have control over. And so if I find that there's something within their realm that I don't love or I don't appreciate, I get to change it. I don't have to dwell in the fact that they like whatever the thing is. I get to change it. So I would say look at your life, and if you're pointing fingers at anybody and you're finding yourself in projectors, bitterness, and resentment, and many other things, manifesting generators and generators, frustration, manifestors, and some manifesting generators, anger, and reflectors, disappointment. Look at where you're trying to control other people instead of controlling yourself and taking radical personal responsibility. Again, an Amber Lillystrom quote. So it's hard work, and sometimes it's like really not fun because it's just takes the whole thing and it makes us it's our own thing, but it's where we get to grow and where we get to learn. So anyway, for anybody who needed to hear this, stop controlling everybody else except yourself and what you have control over, because it's the only thing that gets to change. Happy Friday.